Hi, I'm Shannon, owner of Pahrump Early Learning Academy, where we are more than just childcare.
Hi, I'm Monique Mitchell with KPVM Television. My children attend Pella and they love it. The curriculum they have is pretty amazing, and my children learn what they need at their level.
Not only are the children learning, they're having fun, and that's what matters.
I like Pella. They help you with your homework, and it's fun.
Give us a call today to tour our facility at 751-5335.
News 46 is brought to you by Comfort Hospice Care, where we give our patients and their loved ones peace of mind, knowing we provide the highest quality of care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, call 751-0349. News is also brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community. News is also brought to you by Half Price Lawyers, the only law firm in Pahrump with a low price guarantee. Located at 41 North Highway 160, Unit 11. Call 400-0000.
Tonight on News 46, what to do if someone you love is depressed. Nye County Emergency Services are looking for a few good men and women. And she may be small, but she makes a huge impact. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, August 13th, 2014. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. At last night's Pahrump Town Board meeting, on the agenda were some housekeeping items to extend certain town employees' contracts. The contract for current employees would extend after the town board form of government is to be dissolved, which will be January 5th of 2015. District Attorney Brian Kunze, however, filed a restraining order stopping the board from entering into a contractual agreement past the dissolution date. The 2-year contracts, or in some cases only revisions to existing contracts, were to benefit the Buildings and Grounds Supervisor, Fire Chief, Tourism Director, Human Resources Director, and Town Manager. Judge Kim Wonker placed the 15-day restraining order on the board until they meet in court to decide on the matter, which we will have more on the story on tomorrow night's broadcast. Jackie Lee Argerbright Jr. was in court this morning facing numerous counts of child sexual abuse on 2 young girls. Medics, however, were called to the courthouse around 9:30 today because apparently the defendant had consumed an 8-ounce glass of antifreeze prior to the hearing. The defendant was transported conscious and breathing to Desert View Hospital shortly after the revelation. The Nye County Emergency Services are taking applications for those who would like to serve.
Station 51, we're an all-hazard technical response team. We do firefighting, hazmat responses. We also do technical rescues, high angle and such like that. So we try to keep on leading edge of all that stuff.
And Station 51, just up there right behind the Nye County Courthouse, you guys are how many members strong, do you know?
Right now we're about 9. We'd definitely like to get a lot more.
You're looking for volunteers to help out. Does people need to have any experience, background?
No, we train. We'll train you as a firefighter, firefighter 1, firefighter 2, hazmat, awareness, operations, and technician. And it's very technical, and it does take a commitment from the individual volunteering.
And so you're here at the Nye Communities Coalition looking for volunteers. Tell me what kind of tests that the people have to pass. Physical, these written tests too as well?
We really don't have a written test to get in. Part of being selected before you can go in, we ask you to take a drug screening test. We do ask you to be a high school graduate, and you have a physical that we call it NFPA 1500, which is a National Fire Protection Association. It's a standard for firefighter safety. And it's really to set up a baseline and find out where you stand for your health and identify any changes. Every 2 years you'll be asked to take one until 40, and then it's every year. And after 40 it includes cardiac stress tests. So it's a very comprehensive physical.
And so how does a person apply for these positions?
Okay, you can come to the Nye County Emergency Management Office on Seary Lane. It's across from the animal shelter, or you can call the office at 751-4278, and they'll get you started on the road.
When we come back from this break, we'll have your Desert View Hospital health tip.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Nathan Adelson Hospice, proud to be the hospice of choice in Pahrump for 15 years. Please call 775-751-6700 to find out how Nathan Adelson can assist you.
Welcome back to News 46. Uncontrolled blood pressure can increase the risk for possible heart attack or stroke. In the United States, almost half the patients with high blood pressure do not have it under good control. A new study combined 2 interventions, and they examined whether they would help patients better control their blood pressure.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
Hello?
Hi Pat, this is Sarah calling from Health Partners. I'm calling with your blood pressure readings for the past 2 weeks.
High blood pressure runs in Pat Buchholz's family.
I never smoked, I never drank, and I exercised, so that helped some, but it did not.
Dr. Karen Margolis from Health Partners Institute for Education and Research, along with her colleagues, conducted a randomized clinical trial involving 450 patients with uncontrolled high blood pressure. One group monitored their blood pressure at least 6 times a week at home for a year. The results were electronically transmitted to a pharmacist.
The pharmacist then was able to review the readings and make adjustments over the telephone, if needed, to the patient's treatment regimen.
The telemonitoring patients also checked with their pharmacist every couple of weeks. The other patients went to appointments with their physicians receiving usual care.
Compared with the usual care group, in the telemonitoring group, more than twice as many patients were able to have their blood pressure under control at 6 and 12 months. 70% of the patients in the telemonitoring group kept their blood pressure control at 18 months, 6 months after the program ended.
Pat credits Sarah and the work they did together with turning her health around.
She's just made such a difference in my life. I learned more, I was able to listen better and retain what she told me, and I trusted her.
The study offered us a unique perspective because we could see not just, the little snapshot of what was happening while they were in clinic, but what was truly happening in their home environment.
Pat's blood pressure is now under control.
It has given me these years, and I'm hoping that I have many more. So far, so good.
Catherine Dolph, The JAMA Report.
Thanks so much, Catherine. Researchers say the intervention also helped patients become more confident about taking their medication and fitting blood pressure monitoring into their daily routine. ISIS fighters abducted more than 100 Yazidi women and children from the northern Iraqi town of Sanjir. This comes amid growing concern over the fate of thousands trapped by the extremists. The United States has deployed 130 military advisors to get a first-hand look at the humanitarian crisis unfolding as the extremist fighters threaten Iraqis' ethnic and religious minorities, Yazidis, Christians, and Kurds. Nowhere is the crisis more evident than in the Sanjir Mountains, where an estimated 40,000 minority Yazidis are hiding after fleeing the advance of fighters with the Islamic State. In honor of the life followed by the untimely death of comedian, actor, film producer, and screenwriter Robin Williams on Monday, we dive into his life to find out a little more about the man loved by so many. Born July 21st, 1951 in Chicago, Illinois, Robin McLaren Williams, the great-grandson of Mississippi Governor and Senator Anson J. McLaren, briefly studied political science before enrolling at Juilliard School to study theater. When Williams was in grade school, he was bullied and would seek out new routes home to avoid his tormentors. He told jokes to his mother to make her laugh and pay attention to him. Williams spent most of his time alone in the family's large home playing with his 2,000 toy soldiers. He once said his only companions and only friends as a child were his imagination. He was alone most of the time with maids because both parents worked outside the home. Williams claimed his upbringing left him with an acute fear of abandonment and a condition described as love me syndrome. After he left Juilliard, he performed in nightclubs where he was discovered for the role of Mork on an episode of Happy Days in 1974 and the subsequent spin-off Mork and Mindy in 1978. Williams' wild comic talent involved a great deal of improvisation, following the footsteps of his idol, Jonathan Winters.
Maybe you're perfect right now. Maybe you don't want to ruin that.
Williams also has proven to be an effective dramatic actor and received an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in Good Will Hunting in 1997.
And the Oscar goes to Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting.
Thank you. Oh, man. This might be the one time I'm speechless.
He also received 2 Emmy Awards, 4 Golden Globe Awards, 2 Screen Actor Guild Awards, and 5 Grammy Awards. The father of 3 children, 22-year-old Cody, 25-year-old Zelda, and 31-year-old Zachary. Zelda Williams, who is an actress, was named after the video game her father loved. The father and daughter recently appeared on several television commercials together to promote the new Zelda game's release. Robin married his 3rd wife, graphic designer Susan Snyder, in Napa Valley, California in 2011. The couple lived together in Tiburon, California, near the San Francisco Bay. His lifetime was filled with nonstop movies, television shows, live performances, appearance, and charity work. His memorable movies over the past 3 decades includes The World According to Garp, Good Morning Vietnam, Dead Poets Society, Mrs. Doubtfire, Aladdin, Hook, Jumanji, Night at the Museum, The Fisher King, Awakenings, The Birdcage, just to name a few.
You do fussy, fussy, fussy.
He has numerous television appearances. Williams was engaged in a half-dozen recent and planned projects. They ranged from stage work and low-budget films to an anticipated, though still distant, big-budget sequel to his biggest hit, Mrs. Doubtfire. Depression, drug, and alcohol addiction has been a constant throughout his lifetime. He has made at least 2 trips to rehab, just one this summer. He also underwent significant heart surgery in 2009. Friends have now commented that he was beginning to disconnect. They said that he looked depressed at times, that he didn't visit or return calls as much as he used to. On August 11th of this year, Robin Williams was found dead at his home in Tiburon, California, the victim of an apparent suicide. Williams hung himself with a belt after attempting to slit his wrist with a knife. Police are awaiting a toxicology report. Authorities have not confirmed if the beloved actor left a note behind. He was just 63 years old. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. When we come back from this break, we'll dive into a little bit more about depression and some of the symptoms, and if you know anybody who is suffering signs of depression, what to do. We'll be right back. The concern over what causes such immense depression, like in Robin Williams' case, and how to detect if a loved one is at risk has been a question. We spoke to local therapist in the field from Maple Star, Sharon Winkleman, to find out more.
People who are battling alcohol and drug abuse are at higher risk for depression as well as suicide. People who tend to feel hopeless and helpless, who have a lot of pressures and difficulties like paying the bills, family issues, also at high risk for mental health issues like depression and substance abuse, and oftentimes suicide. A lot of times when people have medical problems and heart issues, it affects them in a very adverse way, and they develop depression as a result of not being able to do the things they used to do or feel the way they used to feel.
When a person looks towards suicide as a way out, is it to get rid of the pain? What's the reasoning?
It's mainly just to make the pain stop. People that are feeling depressed and hopeless and lean towards suicide just want that pain to go away, and they feel there's no other way. They completely are disconnected from other people and any hope. They're hopeless and they just want to stop.
So do they have thoughts about their family, friends, what effect it's going to have?
Well, a lot of times people start giving away their possessions. They'll start making arrangements. Not all the time, but a lot of times people will think about their family and friends and say, here, I want you to have my possessions, or here's all my money, here's my car, here's the key to my house. You know, so they're really thinking of people they love and taking care of them. Sometimes they feel getting rid of themselves and they're part of the problem, and that'll make life better for everyone else in their lives.
Is there a higher risk for people who are getting older with health problems, or is it something that happens in younger, or is it kind of even across the board, you know?
Well, men like Robin Williams, he's an older gentleman, he had medical problems, he had depression, he was in a high-risk group. So there are different risk factors based on, you know, your age and stage in your development.
What can a person do who looks at possibly what Robin Williams did? They're depressed now. They're thinking, hey, he did this. You know, it might be something that they might want to follow.
Suicide's never the answer. The people that are left behind are devastated, and you can always ask for help. And if you see somebody in need or someone who's lonely or feels depressed, reach out to them. Offer a hand up.
If you're watching this right now and you're depressed yourself, how can they get help?
You can go to your local ER, local primary care doctor. You can go to any mental health facility here in town. There's a lot of agencies like Maple Star, Open Arms, the Pahrump Counseling Center. That would help you.
And if it's an emergency right now, just go to the emergency room and they can help you out.
Go to the local ER or call 911.
And then if you're battling drug or alcohol addiction, what can
you need to get help. You need to stop using drugs and alcohol. That's the first step to recovery.
And there's an alcohol, right?
Well, a lot of times there's co-occurring disorders. Most people that develop problems with substances will develop problems with mental health issues, such as depression.
And so give a phone call, and Maple Star is available. Do you have the phone number?
Sure, it's 775-751-6758.
If you only knew what you know now when you were a kid, you might be going all out like 12-year-old Isabella. We caught up with the inspirational young lady who was just recognized for her charity work by Governor Brian Sandoval.
We had a presentation for Isabella. This is her second one. Her first one was a month ago. She took first place in Outstanding Youth Volunteer of the Year for the Ladies Auxiliary. She got a medallion and a certificate and a check for $100 for the first one at our state convention. And this last weekend she got a governor's award for outstanding volunteer for the community and for veterans.
Fantastic. Congratulations, Isabella.
Thank you.
Tell me, how old are you?
I'm 12.
So all these awards that you've received, what kind of work do you do for the VFW volunteer work?
I work at the food bank. I train people. I do Sunday breakfasts, Friday night dinners, Relay for Life, and I'm on a committee for Safe Schools, and I do the USO show and the Stand Down.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
Why did you decide that you would like to work for the VFW?
Because I just wanted to give back to my veterans.
And tell me kind of what your feelings are for veterans, what's your experience with them, family members?
Yeah, my dad. I just felt like they give so much and I want to give back.
That's a wonderful thing. So you spend a lot of hours there at the VFW helping with, this is Grandma, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You like the Women's Auxiliary?
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about yourself. You have mom and dad?
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters?
Yeah. Brothers and sisters.
What school?
RCMS Rosemary Clark.
Yeah. So what's your goal for the future?
I really don't know right now.
You were awarded at this presentation from the governor too. And what does these those certificates say in your, of course, your medal that you're wearing around your neck so proudly?
For Outstanding Young Volunteer of the Year, 2013 to 2014.
So then your medal, I can see that it says Department of Nevada, and it has something on the back too.
Outstanding Young Volunteer, year of 2013, 2014, and then my name.
So are you going to continue volunteering at the VFW?
Yes.
Would you recommend it for other kids?
Yes.
Congratulations once again, Isabella. Let's join Angela Miles with today's First Business Brief.
This is the First Business Brief for Wednesday, August 13th. I'm Angela Miles. Investor concerns about the Fed's next move, along with unrest around the globe, has more people worldwide keeping their cash on hand. According to a Bank of America Merrill Lynch survey, 27% of investors have scaled back on stocks and moved into cash. That's up from 12% in July. Apple CEO Tim Cook says the tech company he runs could use more diversity. Among Apple's 98,000 employees, 55% are Caucasian, 15% Asian, 11% Hispanic, and 7% Black. 30% of its workforce is female. And a style stock is suddenly not so hot on Wall Street. Shares of Kate Spade plunged 25% after hitting a 52-week high earlier in the session on Tuesday. The luxury handbag designer showed off hot earnings, topping Wall Street expectations. However, sales could slow in the second half of the year. That's the First Business Brief. I'm Angela Miles.
Thanks so much, Angela. Well, tomorrow night we'll be having your entertainment this week along with your news across Nevada. That is, if I can speak. If you haven't noticed, I've been sounding a little bit hoarse tonight. There's been some laryngitis going around the station. I hope I'm not getting that. I've been telling everybody to stay at home, but they keep wanting to work. So when we come back from this break, we'll have your weather with Noah Began and some announcements.
News 46 weather is brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body.
Hello and welcome back to News 46. Today is Wednesday, August 13th. Today we had partly cloudy skies with a high of 94 degrees. Your average temperature at this time of year is 103 degrees. Winds were coming from the south-southwest today at 7 miles per hour with a gust up to 14 miles per hour. The UV index today was 9, which is very high. Humidity was at 26%. Sunrise was at 6:01 this morning, and the record high in 1937 was 113 degrees. Tonight we'll have clear skies with a low of 69 degrees. Your average temperature at this time of year is 80 degrees. Winds will be coming from the south at 6 miles per hour with gusts up to 13 miles per hour. Humidity will be at 63%. Sunset will be at 7:37 p.m. and the record low in 1949 was 60 degrees. Tomorrow we'll have sunny skies with a high of 97 degrees and a low of 69 degrees. Winds will be coming from the south-southwest at 8 miles per hour with gusts up to 14 miles per hour. Humidity will be at 22%. Sunrise will be at 6:01 a.m. and the UV index will be 10, which is very high. For our 7-day forecast, we have lots and lots of sunshine. Your high temperatures will be ranging from 97 degrees to 100 degrees, and your low temperatures will be ranging from 69 degrees to 74 degrees.
Thanks so much, Noah. Tonight, there's going to be an open house at 6:30. If you're watching our 5 p.m. broadcast, you can definitely get down to the corner of Pahrump Valley Boulevard and Calvada to the new Outer U. There's going to be wine tasting and cheese and chocolate, and you get to see Janie Kilgore down there. And so go on down there. It's at 1971 Pahrump Valley Boulevard, right on the corner of Pahrump Valley Boulevard and Calvada. You can even give them a call, 751-1116. And the open house, once again, is at 6:30. We'll see you down there. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of News 46. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.